It's March 6th. It's day 45 of the Trump presidency. Halfway to 90 days. I don't know, that's like 1/6, 1/8 of a year, something like that. Math is not my strong suit. Anyways, all over the news today, I'm sure you've been hearing that Trump has sort of temporarily paused some of the tariffs. A lot of people are confused. I think that's understandable. He has essentially put a pause on certain tariffs until April 2nd. The tariffs he put a pause on are the tariffs that are covered by the American Trade Agreement, which covers about 50% of Mexican imports and 38% of Canadian imports. So tariffs are sort of paused. Seems like it's making it more complicated, and then it's only for 1 month, so what the fuck is the point of this? No one really knows, honestly. I know that Canada and Mexico are both still trying to negotiate to just like end this shit altogether. Will they get anywhere? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, they got far enough to get him to so many things are happening. I'm so sorry. Snacks almost fell, and then I tried to save her, and then her tail went directly into my lip gloss, and that's just not okay. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, that whole situation is an absolute shit show, but you know that. And honestly, if the tariffs are still just like hanging over everyone's head, I don't see how this is beneficial. Again, everyone's going to have to, it's like the same thing as him pausing tariffs for the automakers for 1 month. Like, why? Why? If it's just going to go, it's just one more month of time, what do you think they're going to do in 1 month? If this is what they have to adjust to, you almost might as well just get it over with. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the world they now live in where everyone's paying exponentially more for these things than what is 1 month going to fucking do? But anyways, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know why I squeezed this in here. It was just a headline, and I think it's important to talk about this, even though it's really sad. The butterfly population has fallen by 1/4 since the year 2000. The last time I read about that, they knew that it had a lot to do with pesticides, and yet pesticides are still legal. So even like pesticides that we know cause cancer, like Roundup, people are still using them. And it's destroying not just us, it's destroying animals and insects too. So, but you know how America does things. It's like, we don't really care who gets killed as long as someone's making money, right? Doesn't really matter to us if the planet is dying, I guess. Matters to me, but it doesn't matter to the people that are profiting from it. So anyways, so this is another huge headline from today. Trump came out and made a sort of statement. He had a meeting with his cabinet members, and he told them that Elon cannot make decisions to fire anyone. And he told them that they are the ones that are in charge of their own staff members and their own departments, and that only they can fire those people, that Elon does not have the authority to do that. He only has the authority to make recommendations. Now, Elon was there at this meeting. Okay. There's also another headline that said that Elon is coming out and saying that none of this is his fault and that he hasn't fired anyone. The delusion is really running rampant. Okay. So I think what I'm deducing from this, because there was a bunch of TikToks of people being like, oh, Trump and Elon are fighting. I don't think so. Elon was there at that meeting. This wasn't like a behind his back type of situation. I think what's happening is Elon is catching a fuckload of heat for all this, and he doesn't like it. And so now he's like, and Elon's statement about all of this was like, I'm not responsible for firing those people. The departments are the ones that fired those people. But you're literally breaking in some circumstances, breaking into buildings where you're trying to physically hold you out. And they're people are having to resign because they don't want you having access to this information, and yet you're going to sit there and say that this isn't having anything to do with you? Okay. So anyways, I think that they're having trouble finding a scapegoat. I think the heat in the kitchen is getting turned up and they're freaking out. That's my personal opinion. Maybe Elon thought he was comfortable being the scapegoat, and as it turns out, he's a little bitch. I don't know, man. I hate them. They're agents of chaos. Nothing that they're doing is in any way helpful. I mean, anyways, next. CEOs of American liquor companies are flipping the fuck out because Canada is pulling American alcohol off the shelves, and they have every right to. And I've actually seen some Canadians talking about this. There's some viral videos about it. And the Canadians are like, yeah, okay. So like, for instance, the CEO of Jack Daniels is really upset that his liquor is no longer on Canadian shelves. And he's making all these stupid, far out there statements being like, that's even worse than a trade war. This is wrong and blah, 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 yada, yada. He's crying. And Canadians are coming out and saying, we wouldn't buy it if it was on the shelves anyway. Like, I don't think you understand the level of solidarity that Canada has for itself, for its own citizens. They're not going to just sit there and let America do this shit. So get over it. Y'all are the ones who fucking wanted this jackass in the office. And you think that you can have a pissing contest with the world and have them respect you. That is not how respect works. What you're actually doing is making everyone your motherfucking enemy. And they're going to take every chance they can to get back at you, as they should. I think that this whole red pill alpha male mentality is literally poisoning people's minds. And I don't know if these men realize that, like, they're ruining their own lives. Again, we were saying this last night, or maybe this was this morning. I don't know. I yap a lot and I can't remember what's what. Elon could have had a different kind of life, right? He is a very fortunate man. He had a lot of money. He was born into wealth. He's had a lot of opportunities. He could be making a positive impact on the world, and he could, if he were a kinder person, if he had empathy, he could probably have a beautiful marriage and a beautiful family and could have taken unimaginable vacations. He could even like make a huge dent in world hunger. And I mean, he could have done so many things. But instead, this is what he's choosing. He's harming the world on purpose, out of rage, out of resentment, and out of his own insecurity. And when men like Elon and Trump try to have these pissing contests with the whole fucking world, there are consequences. Yeah, you ruined our relationship with Canada. It's never going to be the same. I mean, maybe someday. No time soon. Nor should it be. Nor should anyone ever allow abuse to occur without fucking boundaries, without consequences. Consequences are really important. Consequences teach people like Trump and Elon that they can't just do this. Speaking of which, this is somewhere in my headlines, and I'm just going to tell you now. A Tesla factory in France was burned down, and I'm assuming in an act of arson and protest in Toulouse, France. I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong. But anyways, yeah, fucking people hate your guts now. So it's too late, you know? Both of you. They hate both of you, by the way. Anyways, and, you know, Jack Daniels is just going to have to get over it. I guess you're going to have to convince people here to drink more or something, but good luck with that because no one has any money. Anyways, so, and here's some more consequences. The United States tourism industry is about to lose billions of dollars because Canadians vacation in the United States a lot. And they own vacation homes here, which, by the way, they are selling. especially in Florida. A huge percentage of the houses that are on the market in Florida right now are Canadians that are done with us. They're done with all of this. And again, they have every right. They should do whatever the fuck they want. They can vacation lots of places. They don't have to be here. So, you know, if they hate us, I fucking understand. I would hope that any sane human or country would do the same if they were being mistreated. So now Trump is also preparing an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. We know that this is coming. We've known this was coming for a long time. That's really hard. That's gonna... Our country is already, honestly, falling very far behind in education. And the literacy levels in this country are scary. Scary. Most Americans are reading at like a 6th to 8th grade level right now. People don't read anymore. And they can't. Which is why we have a president tromping around saying weird shit about transgender mice, because he is so uneducated that he has never seen the word transgenic. Not to say that I had, but I certainly know that the word transgenic is not the word transgender. And I would simply look that up. It would take 2 seconds. I would not assume that a different word was related to the word transgender. Anyways, this is the world that we live in now. So the House ended up voting to censure Al Green, who at the address to the nation the other day by Trump, he was standing up and protesting and saying, you do not have a mandate by the people to be dismantling Social Security, Medicaid. You don't have that mandate. Sadly, 10 Democrats actually voted with the Republicans to censure him. I think the level of bought out that we are seeing, and just like the level of like loser, no integrity little bitch that we are seeing in our government right now is alarming on both sides. I'm not one of those people that says both sides are the same. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that. I think more frequently Democrats are voting in line with sanity. But I don't consider myself to be a Democrat. I don't know what the fuck I am. Maybe a democratic socialist, a progressive. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. Whatever I am, we always, we never get the opportunity to actually try to solve any of these problems. Anytime a true progressive gets close to any kind of office, they get knocked out by the fucking, stock trading wannabes that are just there to make money. Because there's too much money in our government. And there's the lobbyists and the corruption. It's off the charts. Again, on all sides. They're all accepting bribes. They're all being threatened. And they're taking the bribes. And I understand that they don't want physical violence enacted on them and their families. I get that. But again, they took an oath and they have all failed us. So obviously the stock market doesn't like any of the shit that's going on. And Wall Street has continued to fall apart today, even after the announcement of the 1 month pause on tariffs. Because again, who fucking cares? 1 month for what? Why? What's the point? Just roll the fucking ball. Let's get it over with. Why are we pausing this? It's not going to do anything to pause it for a month. Anyways. So yeah, I would expect to continue. I think even more than like a absolute bad thing happening, I think one thing that stocks hate is total uncertainty. And there is no certainty in what's happening here. Some people are calling out what's happening and saying that they think that this is like an insider trading setup. I don't know. Maybe. I think it's chaos, but that's just what I see. China has filed a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization against the United States for the tariffs that were put in place against China. And they're arguing that what's happening violates global trade rules. So, again, I don't know what kind of consequences come through for something like that. Like, if they win, then what? Are the tariffs supposed to be dropped? And will they be? You know, like, I don't see the Trump administration complying with a lot of stuff that's happening, but we'll have to wait and see. Because, you know, some of the Supreme Court rulings that have come down against the Trump administration and other federal court rulings that are coming down and saying, overturning some of these executive orders, will they comply? I still don't know. This is honestly hilarious to me. So Elon Musk has his own chatbot called Grock. Well, Grock came out and said that whoever delivered the State of the Union address, which we're not calling it that, I guess we're calling it a joint session of Congress. But anyways, that there's a 75 to 85% chance that that person is a Russian asset that has been compromised by Putin. Literally, that's what Elon's own shit said. And Elon in the past has said that Grock is very truthful, even if people don't like the things that it says. So that's hilarious to me. Even your own fucking fake ass robotic son hates you, you bitch. So the TikTok ban is still looming, and TikTok is set to be banned again permanently April 5th unless some sort of solution has been reached. And as far as I know, that has not happened. So we're literally just sitting here. There's one more month waiting for that to happen. I think a lot of people maybe became complacent and forgot about it, but it's coming. So, you know, again, will China negotiate? Will TikTok negotiate? I doubt it. China fucking hates us now, so good luck with that. Anyways, I guess it'll be more time for me to focus on content here. I'm already putting way more energy into my content here now than I was, or than I am on TikTok anymore. So Trump, this is so gross. And it's so cruel. Trump is revoking legal status for 240,000 Ukrainian refugees that basically, you know, fled here during the Russian war. The areas of the country that they lived in were bombed or are still being bombed, and they're here trying to not die. And he's going to send them back. Anyways. Yeah, I'm like very adjusted to the cruelty, right? Like, it's constant. I think I'm past the point of allowing it to ever catch me off guard anymore, because I just expect him to do the cruelest thing imaginable every single day. But I bet you there's still people that are having their breath taken away. And I understand that. I think I've just had a narcissist in my world for such a long time that I know that there's nothing that they're not capable of. The worst thing you can think of, yes, they'll do it. I promise. Every time. And I know that about them. So I expect him to go the lowest he possibly can every time he gets the opportunity. And he will. He'll keep doing this. Speaking of going lowest possible, you know, she should have expected this. I bet you she's surprised. MAGA fucking hates Amy Coney Barrett now, and they're calling her a DEI hire, and they're demanding her immediate dismissal from the Supreme Court because she has been voting against Trump. Like, she's voting to reinstate the U.S. aid funds, for instance. And so they are going to attack her. And that's what they do, right? Like there is no like compromise or reason or logic. It's worship of Trump. And so anything he does, they have to make it fit in their minds. For instance, when the Epstein files come out and Trump is in the flight logs 7 times, they make it fit. I've actually heard them say, and I'm dead ass serious, I've heard them say that he was running a sting operation on Jeffrey. Like, that's how crazy they are. They don't look at the man's actions his whole entire life, how he's treated women his whole entire life, how he said he wanted to fuck his own daughter. They don't look at any of that. They twist it and twist it and twist it until it fits. So, you know, their loyalty is only to him, and they'll turn on everyone that gets in his way in the meantime. And so, you know what? The fact that that is still the case in such an intense way, it does like create an interesting case for what's going to happen when he dies. I think it will cause some people to go into a form of psychosis. And it's coming. Like, mark my words, it's coming. We don't know exactly when. You know, you never know. Obviously, like people have pointed out, yeah, Mitch McConnell falls down a flight of stairs every Thursday and he's not dead yet. And he's clearly like, his lips are straight purple black. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is not long for this world, but I don't know. Like, you never know. Some people hold on and hold on and hold on. So it's possible he'll just like string himself along somehow. And I also would never be surprised to wake up to the news that he was dead. But when it happens, whenever it happens, I think it's going to like unhook something inside of them that was tethering them to this planet right now. And I think some of them will literally go bananas, like possibly violence out in the streets type of bananas. Because they're so delusional that they'll say that he was assassinated even if he dies of a heart attack. But once the dust settles, then they'll really fall apart. Because they've placed this weird, it's like the pressure that everyone constantly puts on, like the idea of an alien invasion, like aliens are going to save us. Like the whole idea that humans have that something outside of us is going to come save us, which is never going to happen, by the way. It is not. It's actually almost like against the law of the universe. You have to save yourself. There's nothing else can save you because you have to have the alchemy inside of you before you can cross a threshold into being saved. It's an internal process. There's nothing that can push those buttons internally for you. Nothing. It has to be you. And if I take that and I apply it to the human race has to mature, has to evolve emotionally and spiritually and logically to the point where we realize that money is a fucking made up concept. And that if all the bees die, we fucking die, bro. And nothing is more important than the health and well-being of the planet, of planet Earth. And right now, we're still heavily placing money in front of our literal, like, own heart, our beating heart, the planet that is our life force that is keeping us alive. We are putting that, in some cases, last. We're about to cut down 280 acres of forests here when we desperately need the oxygen and we need the animals, and we're already teetering on a cliff of no return. So anyways, the only thing that could ever save us is an internal transformation. It must come from enough of us to push us over the threshold as a species. And if we can't make it across that threshold, we're just not going to make it. And there's just no question about it. But these people that are so stuck on Trump, they think of him now the way that they may have at one point thought of Jesus. They think that he is mandated by God to save them. And you know what? I will give him this. Sometimes it is in the moment that you're staring down the barrel of a gun at your own death that you do have like that epiphany. So maybe him bringing us all the way to the edge of our total destruction will be the thing that turns the ship around. I don't fucking know. We'll see, right? We'll wait and see. All right. Sorry, that was quite a that was quite a note to wrap things up on, but I will see all of you tomorrow. Love you.